Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into another fascinating piece of American history, the four most valuable 1-cent coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin has a story that might surprise you. And by the end of this video, you'll see why it's highly sought after by collectors around the world. Let's jump right in and uncover the secrets behind this remarkable penny. First coin. The story of the 1963 Denver Mint 1-cent coin begins with an unexpectedly powerful presence for such a small piece of copper. Because even in a very dirty and heavily circulated condition, certain rare survivors from this year have become standouts in the modern Lincoln Memorial series. Collectors are often surprised when they learn that a coin as common as a 1963 D penny can rise into a higher tier of desirability. Yet select examples possess qualities that elevate them far beyond their ordinary counterparts. Whether it is an unusual strike characteristic, an exceptional preservation beneath the dirt, or an overlooked minting anomaly that escaped detection for decades, this coin's identity as a hidden treasure remains one of its strongest appeals. The combination of mintage scale, historical timing, and unexpected scarcity in top-quality examples makes the 1963 D cent a fascinating piece worth examining with deeper attention. The year 1963 carried significant weight in American history, positioned at the crossroads of major cultural and political shifts, and the Denver Mint was operating at full capacity to meet the nation's expanding need for circulating currency. Copper prices were stable, the economy was strong, and the mint had not yet adopted the major compositional changes that would arrive later in the decade, making this one of the final chapters of the all-copper pre-1964 production era. Denver alone struck over 1.7 billion pennies, an immense output that might suggest that rarity would be unlikely. Yet the reality is more nuanced, because while billions were produced, only a minuscule portion survived without the abrasions, discoloration, and mechanical damage that mass-circulated coins typically endure. This broader historical and industrial setting provides the foundation that helps explain why certain examples now command substantial respect among collectors. Design details on the 1963 D penny offer a rich visual narrative that collectors continue to appreciate, especially when remnants of the original luster remain hidden beneath a layer of dirt. The obverse features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, still crisp and powerful when struck sharply, with attention drawn to the clarity of the beard, cheekbone definition, and the crispness around the eye. The D mint mark beneath the date can vary slightly in punch strength, making some examples appear bold and others noticeably softer. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial engraving provides opportunities to study fine architectural lines and subtle column spacing, and when the strike is particularly clean, even the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial becomes visible under magnification. Dirt may obscure these qualities on first glance, but skilled collectors know that underneath the grime, valuable details can remain perfectly intact. Rarity within the 1963 D series becomes increasingly evident when comparing typical survivors to the scarce subset that remains sharply struck, minimally marked, and unaltered by cleaning attempts. While most existing coins are heavily worn, discolored, or damaged, coins hiding exceptional surfaces underneath years of dirt can transform dramatically once professionally evaluated. The contrast between huge mintage numbers and a very small surviving elite is what drives value upward, and because Denver's machinery occasionally produced inconsistent strikes, the few crisp examples stand out even more. High-grade coins with preserved luster, even if initially dirty, become extremely difficult to locate in the modern marketplace, giving this year-end mint combination its special status. Collector demand continues to rise for the 1963 D penny because it occupies a uniquely transitional position in the Lincoln series, bridging the end of the classic pre-1964 copper alloy, and the final years before coinage composition began to shift in response to national metal shortages. Many collectors desire one premium example of every Denver issue from the early memorial years, and the 1963 D often becomes a target because its top-end representatives can be surprisingly elusive. What makes this coin stand out is not just its age or design continuity, but the small population of pristine survivors hidden among countless ordinary ones. Whenever a sharply struck or unusually clean piece appears at auction, it attracts immediate attention from specialists seeking to complete high-grade sets. In today's market, values for the most exceptional 1963 D pennies can be strikingly strong, particularly those authenticated and graded by major third-party services. While a normal circulated example may remain modest in price, the rarest survivors can begin around $850 for coins demonstrating superior detail even beneath surface dirt, with stronger candidates rising into the mid-thousands once luster, sharpness, and eye appeal align. The truly remarkable examples, where technical quality and visual beauty combine in a nearly flawless presentation, have been documented selling for between $4,000 and $6,800, depending on the specific grade and competitive interest among bidders. These unexpected price levels are precisely why collectors are encouraged to re-examine older coins that appear dull or dirty. High potential can hide beneath unassuming surfaces. For collectors hoping to identify their own valuable 1963 D cent, the most important strategy is to evaluate the coin with patience and care rather than rushing to clean or alter it. Dirt does not disqualify a coin from value, and in many cases, it protects the original surface by acting as a natural barrier against friction. Focus on examining the sharpness of Lincoln's jawline, the clarity of the lettering, and the strength of the memorial details, as these traits remain the best indicators of whether the coin was well struck. Searching through inherited collections, old jars, and long untouched boxes remains one of the most promising methods of discovery, and professional grading can reveal preservation that the untrained eye might not initially recognize. Even beginners can benefit by comparing their coin to verified high-grade examples online, slowly building the ability to identify potential winners. In closing, the 1963 D 1 cent coin holds a place of quiet yet undeniable significance within the American numismatic landscape, offering collectors a rare blend of historical weight, striking detail, and surprising value potential even in dirty, circulated conditions. Its ability to rise from ordinary status to impressive worth gives it a unique appeal that draws in both new hobbyists and seasoned professionals alike. As you continue exploring the world of rare coins, stay tuned for our next feature, where another overlooked treasure reveals its unexpected journey from everyday pocket change to numismatic spotlight. Next coin. The 1964 Denver Mint 1 cent coin begins its journey as a seemingly ordinary piece of American pocket change. Yet within the numismatic world, certain rare survivors from this year have risen to a level of unexpected prominence. Even when heavily dirty and darkened from decades of circulation, this particular coin holds an appeal rooted in the fascination collectors have with transitional years and overlooked treasures. The 1964 D penny is collectible not only because of its age or design consistency, but because within the massive number of coins struck, a tiny portion stands out for remarkable strike clarity, preserved underlying surfaces, or mint-made characteristics that elevate its status far above the rest. These special pieces remind collectors that great value can emerge from the most unassuming places, especially when a coin shows hidden strength beneath years of grime. To understand what makes the 1964 D penny significant, it helps to look at the year itself, a period when the United States Mint was dealing with enormous pressure as the nation approached the beginning of the coin shortage crisis. Copper cents were still essential to everyday transactions, and Denver operated with intense production demands. Over 3.7 billion pennies were struck, cementing 1964 as one of the highest output years in American cent history. These coins were released into a rapidly changing economic environment, where circulation was heavy and preservation was rarely a priority. Because of this, while billions were minted, very few survived in pristine condition, and many disappeared into circulation where wear, dirt, and surface damage became unavoidable. This historical backdrop helps explain how rarity can emerge even in years with massive mintage totals. The design of the 1964 D penny continues the classic Lincoln cent appearance, with Victor David Brenner's portrait on the obverse and Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. What makes this coin particularly interesting to collectors is how the dirt clinging to its surface often highlights, even unintentionally, the depth of the artwork. The obverse features Lincoln's profile with sharply defined cheekbones, beard texture, and hair lines when struck well, though weaker Denver examples exist. The D mint mark beneath the date varies noticeably in placement and punch strength, creating subtle differences from coin to coin. On the reverse, the memorial showcases its architectural columns and straight-line engraving, and the tiny statue of Lincoln visible within the memorial becomes an important detail for identifying strong strikes. Even when the coin appears dark or dull, these underlying design elements can remain intact, making the discovery even more rewarding for collectors. Rarity in the 1964 D penny becomes evident when evaluating how very few high-end specimens have survived untouched. The overwhelming majority of existing coins show significant wear, discoloration, and impact marks from extensive circulation. Dirty examples may look too ordinary at first glance, but specialists know that grime can hide preserved surfaces protected from friction and scratches. When a truly sharp, original, uncleaned example emerges, especially one hiding full luster or exceptional strike detail beneath the dirt, it becomes part of a small elite group. These rare survivors stand out because Denver's massive production often resulted in soft strikes and inconsistent press quality, making fully detailed coins far scarcer than the mintage number suggests. Collector demand for the 1964 D penny continues to rise as enthusiasts seek strong examples from the early Lincoln Memorial years. This coin holds a unique position as part of the era before major compositional changes and before the removal of silver dramatically impacted coin production nationwide. Many collectors aim to build high-grade memorial sets, and the 1964 D becomes increasingly challenging because so few top-tier coins remain. When a sharply struck, clean-surfaced, or unusually attractive piece appears at auction, it often generates instant interest. Its appeal lies not in rarity alone, but in the unexpected difficulty of finding one that truly stands out among the billions originally minted. In the current market, premium examples of the 1964 D penny can reach surprisingly high prices when preserved beneath decades of dirt and later, authenticated as exceptional. Strong pieces generally begin around $650 when the coin's surfaces show clear detail and minimal abrasions, even if the coin first appeared dull or heavily toned. As sharpness and originality increase, prices rise quickly, with particularly impressive coins moving into the range of $3,000 to $6,400, depending on grade, strike, color, and auction demand. The most spectacular survivors, those showcasing exceptional luster, minimal marks, and near-perfect detail, become competition pieces among advanced collectors. These values illustrate how ordinary-looking coins often hide extraordinary potential. Collectors searching for valuable 1964 D pennies should always begin with patience and close observation rather than immediate cleaning, as dirt often protects what lies beneath. The key is to examine the overall sharpness of Lincoln's jawline, the clarity of the date and mint mark, and the strength of the memorial's central details. Coins stored for decades in jars, old drawers, or inherited collections offer the highest chance of uncovering preserved surfaces. Professional grading, when warranted, can dramatically increase a coin's marketability and ensure proper evaluation. Learning to compare your coin with known high-end examples will improve your ability to recognize potential value, especially when luster or detail remains surprisingly strong under magnification. In conclusion, the 1964 D1 cent coin stands as a compelling reminder that rarity does not always come from low mintages, but instead from the survival of well-preserved examples in a sea of worn, dirty, and overlooked pieces. Its historical context, foundational design, and surprising market performance combine to create a coin worth studying for both beginners and advanced collectors. As you continue exploring the hidden gems of American coinage, join us in our next episode where we reveal another fascinating issue whose true value is often concealed behind its ordinary appearance. Yet its story is every bit as captivating. Next coin. The 1966 1-cent coin holds an intriguing position in numismatic history, gaining attention from collectors who understand that rarity often emerges in unexpected places. While it may appear like an ordinary Lincoln Memorial cent at first glance, those who study this era recognize how certain survivors from 1966 possess qualities that make them highly desirable today. Its importance lies not only in its place during a transitional period for American coinage, but also in the few exceptionally preserved examples that demonstrate superior strike, clarity, and originality. With collectors increasingly revisiting mid-1960s coins due to their overlooked potential, the 1966 cent has risen as a standout for those seeking ultra-rare, investment-worthy pieces. The story of the 1966 cent begins with a country undergoing rapid change, where the United States Mint was grappling with the aftermath of the national coin shortage and the removal of silver from circulating coins. This year marked one of the peak periods of production under heavy pressure, and the Mint suspended the use of mint marks for all denominations, meaning that every 1966 cent originated from a unified national output without identifying where it was struck. This unusual decision places 1966 in a category distinct from surrounding years, emphasizing how the government attempted to slow coin hoarding by removing identifying marks. Because of this, collectors today study these coins not only as part of the Lincoln Memorial series, but also as artifacts representing a tense moment in monetary policy and cultural change. Despite being produced in enormous numbers, the 1966 cent offers fascinating design elements that become more impressive when discovered in high-quality condition. The obverse continues to display Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, but the mid-60s mint equipment often resulted in subtle variations in sharpness, making fully detailed examples harder to obtain. Lincoln's cheekbone, jawline, and hair curling above the ear reveal how crisp the strike truly was, and these details play a significant role in determining value. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design showcases long vertical lines, delicate roof detail, and the faint but visible statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, features that require strong preservation to remain intact. The composition remained the classic 95% copper alloy, giving the coin its warm, traditional tone and contributing to its aesthetic appeal. Although billions of 1966 cents were minted, true rarity emerges once condition is taken into account. Coins from this period were heavily circulated, handled without care, and often stored in environments that accelerated discoloration or corrosion. High-grade uncirculated pieces are extremely difficult to locate due to the intense demand placed on the mint's machinery, which regularly produced weakly struck coins. Even more elusive are the rare varieties and striking anomalies reported from this year, including unusual die deterioration patterns and occasional doubling effects that can elevate a coin into an ultra-rare classification. The combination of high mintage but low survival of premium examples is what drives demand upward and creates scarcity in the marketplace. The market value of the finest 1966 cents has grown significantly as collectors recognize their scarcity at the highest grading levels. Strong, fully detailed examples often begin around $1,400, especially when they display vibrant copper luster and minimal contact marks. As the quality improves into the upper mint state range, prices escalate sharply, with standout pieces bringing $2,800 to $5,700 depending on grade, eye appeal, and auction interest. Rare varieties or exceptionally clean strikes can push values even higher when bidding becomes competitive. These price levels reflect not speculation but genuine difficulties in locating coins that survive the era's harsh minting conditions and heavy circulation without losing their original brilliance. Collectors aiming to acquire a valuable 1966 cent should study the coin's strike characteristics carefully, as this year is known for inconsistent detail. Coins with clear hair strands above Lincoln's ear, sharp lettering, and strong memorial lines on the reverse stand out immediately. Professional certification is essential when dealing with higher value examples, since grading services can confirm originality and protect the coin from future handling damage. Searching through older saved rolls, estate collections, or long-untouched jars remains a surprisingly effective way to uncover hidden survivors. Once acquired, proper storage in temperature-stable, non-PVC holders will preserve the copper surface and prevent the spots or tunning that can reduce value. When looking at the broader history of the Lincoln Memorial Series, the 1966 cent occupies a fascinating and sometimes underestimated position. Its role during the height of America's coin shortage, combined with its mint-mark-free identity and the rarity of high-grade survivors, makes it an attractive choice for collectors seeking pieces with both historical depth and investment potential. The collectors who appreciate the subtle variations in mid-60s production understand that the 1966 cent is not merely another copper coin, but a physical reminder of a turbulent moment in American numismatic progress. In conclusion, the 1966 1-cent coin represents a blend of historical importance, aesthetic quality, and growing market value that appeals to both new collectors and seasoned specialists. Its significance lies in its connection to national monetary challenges, its distinctive visual and technical traits, and the unusually small number of premium examples that remain today. As values continue to rise and more collectors recognize the difficulty of securing high-end pieces from this year, the 1966 cent stands out as a worthwhile addition to any serious collection. With this coin explored, the search continues. Another hidden treasure from American coinage awaits its turn in the spotlight. Next coin. The journey of the 1968 D1 cent coin begins with a subtle charm that collectors often underestimate, especially when found in a very dirty and heavily circulated condition. Although this coin may appear dull or unremarkable at first glance, the true appeal of the 1968 Denver issue becomes clearer once its hidden qualities are understood. Collectors have grown increasingly interested in certain late 1960s Lincoln Memorial cents, and among them, the 1968D has risen as a standout due to scarce high-grade survivors, unique strike characteristics, and a surprising number of overlooked gems discovered in old storage boxes and coin jars. What makes this coin particularly collectible is the possibility that beneath layers of dirt and age, a sharply struck, beautifully preserved example may be waiting to be revealed through careful evaluation. The year 1968 carried considerable weight in American history, and the U.S. Mint was adapting to new changes and fresh pressures that influenced coin production nationwide. This was the year mint marks returned after being temporarily removed during the coin shortage years, and for collectors, The reappearance of the D on the penny added renewed interest to Denver's output. The economy was shifting, technology was evolving, and demand for circulating coins remained high, pushing mint equipment to its limits. Denver produced over 2 billion cents that year, but mass production meant inconsistent strikes, rapid die wear, and limited attention to the finer aspects of quality. Understanding this historical backdrop is essential because it reveals why finding an exceptional 1968 D cent is far more difficult than the mintage numbers suggest. The design of the 1968 D penny continues the familiar aesthetic that collectors know well, with Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln dominating the obverse. Dirt often obscures the delicate details at first, but a strong underlying strike can still preserve the fine hair curls, the depth of Lincoln's eye, and the convincing shape of the jawline. The D mint mark beneath the date is an important focal point, as slight variations in punch quality can influence desirability. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design provides an intricate landscape of vertical columns, sharp roof angles, and the faint statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial. When preserved beneath grime or oxidation, these details become valuable indicators of the coin's quality, proving once again that appearances can be deceiving. Rarity becomes an important factor when collectors consider how few 1968 D cents have survived in premium condition. While billions of coins were minted, the vast majority endured harsh circulation, acquiring heavy contact marks, corrosion spots, discoloration, and weakened strike details. Dirty examples are common, but those hiding sharp original surfaces are exceptionally difficult to find. Because Denver's dies wore quickly in the late 1960s, truly crisp, fully detailed strikes were uncommon even when the coins were newly minted. Today, coins that escaped wear, especially those with strong luster still intact under dirt, have become part of a very small elite group, making them desirable among those assembling high-grade memorial cent collections. Collector demand continues to grow for the 1968 D penny, because it represents a transitional moment in U.S. mint history, marking the return of mint marks and a shift toward more modern production methods. Enthusiasts appreciate the challenge of locating sharply struck examples and the reward that comes from discovering a hidden gem in a pile of ordinary-looking coins. The 1968 D stands out because it bridges the early and middle years of the Lincoln Memorial series, offering collectors an intriguing combination of historical importance and true scarcity at the highest levels. Whenever a particularly clean or unusually well-struck example appears at auction, it tends to attract immediate interest from specialists who understand how challenging this date can be. Today's market environment rewards top-tier 1968 D pennies with impressive values, especially when authenticated and graded by major third-party services. A strong example with well-preserved surfaces can begin around $750, even if the coin originally appeared dull, dirty, or heavily toned. As sharpness and eye appeal improve, values rise significantly, with superior pieces selling in the range of $2,200 to $6,300, depending on grade, color quality, strike strength, and the overall visual integrity of the coin. The rarest survivors, those displaying exceptional luster or unusually crisp detail, continue to attract competitive bidding, proving that even common date cents can ascend to exceptional worth under the right conditions. Collectors seeking a valuable 1968 D cent should begin with patience, examining the coin under good lighting and resisting the temptation to clean or alter the surface. Dirt often protects delicate details, and removing it incorrectly can instantly destroy value. Focus on the strength of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the lettering, and the crispness of the memorial lines on the reverse. Hidden luster, even faint, is a good sign. Searching through inherited collections, old rolls, and long-forgotten storage jars offers the best chances of finding preserved examples, and professional grading becomes essential once a promising specimen is discovered. With time and proper evaluation techniques, even beginners can learn to differentiate between ordinary circulation pieces and special coins that deserve attention. In closing, the 1968 D1 cent coin stands as a fascinating example of how a simple, dirty penny can transform into a rare and highly valuable collectible when preserved correctly and recognized for its hidden strengths. Its historical context, distinctive design details, and underrated scarcity make it an appealing treasure for collectors of all experience levels. And as the world of coin collecting continues to evolve, coins like the 1968 D remind us that true value often lies just beneath the surface. Stay with us as we continue this journey into America's rarest coins, because the next featured coin may hold a story even more surprising than this one.